Here in this video we are going to showcase the list of the top 10 most powerful symbiotes. You know, these symbiotic alien species that Venom and Riot belongs to. They are also known as the Clintar. They are amorphous, symbiotic extraterrestrials created from the living abyss at the beginning of the universe by the primordial deity Knull, who manifested a sword of living darkness called the All Black from his shadow to slaughter the Celestials. As you can see, they are quite up there in power. And one thing that is important is that symbiote's offsprings is always another magnitude more powerful than its parents. And since Venom and Riot are first generation, they don't even feature on the list. The ones that do are insanely strong. So let's dive into this madness. Number 10. Scream. Scream was the only one of the 5 live Foundation symbiotes who was not assimilated to the composite creature called the Hybrid. Instead, it and the host, Donna Diego, went their separate ways. Donna's mind, alongside with the symbiote's inexperience and immaturity, gradually turned Scream into an unpredictable and volatile entity. With a few insignificant exceptions, such as her ability to lengthen her hair into tendrils for attack purposes, her abilities were comparable to those of Venom symbiotes. Scream was very powerful, but it was killed by Eddie Brock when he incapacitated it with sonic feedback and stabbing her to death with a hot knife. Number 9. Anti-Venom. When Eddie Brock's body became infected with cancer, he acquired a completely new species of symbiote by chance. During Brock's cancer treatment, a series of circumstances unexpectedly led fragments of the Venom symbiote to merge with his white blood cells. The outcome was a symbiote with no self-awareness, basically turning it into a benign biological costume over which Eddie Brock had full and complete control. It had the same abilities as Venom, but with additional improvements including immunity to sonic and fire assaults. Number 8. Mania. Technically not a symbiote entity unto itself, Mania originated as a piece of the Venom symbiote severed in battle, which displayed far more bloodlust and wrath than its parent. That's partly because of its wearer, Andy Benton, who was also cursed with the Hellmark, a supernatural brand. The Mania symbiote has been transmitted into a criminal named Lee Price, and Lee has demonstrated the capacity to enslave others by infecting them with bits of the symbiote, making him far more powerful than Venom and Spider-Man combined. Number 7. Sleeper. In comparison to others that came from Venom, the Sleeper symbiote was quite unique. This symbiote had very different appearance from the Venom symbiote and lacked some of the symbiote's traits, such as the iconic ornamented white eyes. It was also haughty yet faithful, a symbiote that defended its host despite its occasional violence. Sleeper is Venom's 7th offspring and shares many of his progenitor's talents, such as webbing creation and camouflage. Sleeper became an anti-hero just like Venom later on. Number 6. Hybrid. When the Doomsday-obsessed Life Foundation kidnapped Eddie Brock and separated him from his symbiote, the organization forcibly plucked 5 gestating offsprings from the alien organism, that is Riot, Phage, Lasher, Agony and Scream, which would then become the symbiotes that would form Hybrid. Despite the fact that Scream and its host Donna Diego escaped, the remaining 4 were eventually combined into the Gestalt entity Hybrid, when it linked with a jail guard called Scott Washington, whose own individuality wrestled for dominance amongst the others. In the mixture, it became a chaotic mix. Being a combo of 4 other symbiotes, Hybrid was very powerful. Number 5. Carnage. In any symbiote list, Carnage is essentially one of the top dogs, always. Carnage outperforms Venom in terms of power and destructive potential, as much as Venom outperforms Spider-Man in terms of strength. The symbiote organism was the offspring of Venom, who teamed up with a serial killer called Cletus Cassidy to become one of Marvel's most heinous supervillains. With significantly greater strength and abilities than Venom, this new symbiote was even more powerful and dangerous and bloodthirsty. Even though Venom would defeat his kid several times, he was essentially outmatched the entire time, relying on luck and wits to win. Number 4. Toxin. What threat may compel Venom and Carnage to put their differences aside and work together? Well, that would be Toxin, Carnage's first symbiote offspring, and as we said before, the offspring is always more powerful than the parent. Toxin was immediately identified by Carnage as a major threat, as it essentially combines the strength and the might of Venom and Carnage in one. Despite the anti-hero, Venom's hatred for Carnage, it opted to train the Toxin symbiote to be a force for good. It eventually formed a friendship with Patrick Mulligan, a New York City cop who went to become a superhero. His abilities were comparable to those of Carnage and Venom, but on a different level of power. Number 3. Scorn. When Carnage was isolated from his long-term host, serial killer Cletus Cassidy, it was chemically lobotomized and collected in the hopes of developing a new line of prosthetics. The result was Scorn, being a symbiote developed from an experimental merger of extraterrestrial biology and Earth technology, and it can connect with computer systems and absorb and adapt all types of cybernetic modifications and weaponry. It can bond and interface with numerous machines, which means that she not only has the strength to equal Carnage and even beat him, she can also use sonic and thermal weapons against other Clintars at will. Number 2. Grendel. This unique symbiote was created by Knull, the Clintar god. It is significantly more powerful than any typical symbiote like Venom, Carnage or Riot, and was capable of destroying deity-like entities like Celestials, well as a symbiote dragon. The usual symbiote weaknesses to fire and sonic weaponry aren't as dangerous, and it can actually breathe fire and release energy blasts. It had the speed of the Silver Surfer and was super durable. Grendel, like many other symbiote dragons, could combine with others to form a super large monster in many configurations, such as the Chihu, which is also one of Marvel's most powerful monsters. And number 1. Knull. For years, the extraterrestrial symbiotes were thought to be a bestial race with primordial roots. It was Knull who was shown that he was the one who created them. He was a being with enormous god-like abilities who lived through the period of oblivion, well, some say before the creation of the universe. Knull carries a sword crafted from a celestial's undead corpse, and his strength is unrivaled. He created the symbiotes by accident and discovered that he could utilize them as an army. He has dominion over symbiotes and those born from their biology because he created them. Any character who can slaughter Celestials is without a doubt one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. And so with that, we come to the end of the video on the top 10 most powerful Clintar symbiotes. You know, the Venom Symbiotes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be a part of our MindCube family. And we can't hardly wait for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Oh, monsters, right? So anyway, click that thumbs up button for support, and also smash that bell button for regular updates on new monster videos right here on this channel. Till the next one, take care fam.